So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm recording this live at the Upper River Valley Hospital in Waterville, New Brunswick. Probably the most devastating news in the media we've seen in years. Our great colleague, our great reporter, our great friend, our great inspiration, Jim Dumville, the heart of Gaspésie, the English heart, the noted award-winning journalist, has passed away after a brief battle with cancer. Now, a lot of people in the Woodstock region, greater Woodstock region, Frankton, have been following his health concerns in recent months, and unfortunately took a turn for the worse. He was sent down to palliative care in Moncton from the Waterville Hospital and unfortunately passed away in recent hours. Ladies and gentlemen, print journalism is a unique game. Only a certain people can have longevity in it, only certain people can do it, only certain people can celebrate it. Jim is a 10 out of 10 in every category. A great editor, a great promoter, a great conversationalist, a great interviewer, a great person to work with. Now, I started working with Jim long before I first met him, and here's a little story for you. In the mid-1980s, my stepmother's daughter, Sylvie Keys, was Keys at the time, married Curtis Keys, and I met Jim at the wedding because Jim was Curtis's cousin. And I found him very, not say debonair, but sort of old-fashioned, if that makes any sense. He was a great individual, really knew how to dance. But within a decade, when I was going down to Woodstock to revisit the campus in the mid-90s, Jean Bertin, my old baseball colleague from Adderville, the West Virginia Baseball League, was taking the journalism course, and sure enough, that's where the same course that Jim was taking. He eventually graduated and became, as part of the Woodstock Bugle Observer family, became editor after different transitions. Now, I came to Woodstock to work with him in 2008 when I was transferred from Carleton Tribune as a beat and resource and sports reporter to Woodstock. Again, a great fit for us all. And the people who were there were legendary. You had Devin Judge, Angela Ferguson, Sean Merrithew, Brian Tate, Alison Adair, freelancers such as Karen Powell, columnists such as Brigitte Marston, a good friend of journalism. Jim and I, being from the North Shore, had a sort of a shorthand rapport. His infectious smile, his great personality allowed us to do things maybe we couldn't do. And here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. Within a few years, I think we won, several dozen Atlantic Community Newspaper Awards and CNA Awards, including Best Front Page, Best Newspaper. CNA was amazing as well because that big year in the early 2000s, we pretty well set up everything. But Jim didn't do it for awards. Jim was a community-based reporter, and that's saying a lot because a lot of community-based reporters don't get the respect they need. So today, with all due courtesy, I'm going to quote from two of his fellow colleagues about the importance of Jim to their lives. Now, the first one is Nathan DeLong, which was my former co-worker at the Bugle. He took over for me pretty much when I went blind on assignment in the mid-2000s. He said in a published article, I was deeply saddened to learn this morning that one of my first editors, Jim Dumville, passed away yesterday after a short battle with cancer. Jim was by far one of the best bosses, mentors, and professional role models I've ever had. I owe a tremendous amount of him for helping me to get my start in journalism way back when I was in high school. His dedication to his craft was self-evident. And he says, I think this sums it up pretty well for everybody. To know Jim was to love him. That was reflected in his kind, humble manner, his quick wit, including his many nasty puns, which were pretty nasty, very funny, his servant's heart, his passion for storytelling that resonated through the province in the upper St. John River Valley. Words cannot adequately express my gratitude to Jim for his role in launching my career in the news industry. He said as well, Jim's guidance and support to my entire tenure at the Bugle was second to none. The few times he growled at me for errors that made it to print were my fault. I deserved it, but his emphasis was only on the lessons learned from those mistakes. There was rarely a dull moment at the Bugle office. And no matter the situation, Jim showed compassion and empathy towards everyone he met, even when we had friendly debates in the newsroom about politics and sports, or he and Doug Dickinson would shoot the breeze of our various movies and entertainers. So this was a super team of journalists, and probably the best extended journalism squad of all time. Let's look at it again. You had Devin Judge, a great writer and editor. You had Jim Dunville. You had me. You had Nathan DeLong, Angela Ferguson, freelancers like Karen Howell, Alison Adair, Brian Tate, Sean, the big guy Merrithew. I love him to death. Love you, Sean. And you all worked together. There was a transition, and Caitlin Dean as well. There was a transition. There's not enough thanks I can give these people, and Jim was the straw that stirred the drink. Now, the co-workers that worked in before, I call that magic era, are, you see, sports were big on Jim. Jim was always a person to love. Love competition, love the excitement of doing stuff. Now, according to the great Wendy Dunlop-Marr, one of Jim's former co-workers with the Bugle, our community has lost a wonderful human being, and my heart is feeling the loss of a friend, former colleague and co-worker, and a bright light to the world. For 2 years, we worked closely together, helping communities to accept the merger of the Bugle and Observer. As editor and managing editor, there was many long days, story meetings, discussions, some disagreements, but mutual respect and friendship never wavered. Our thoughtful debates on current events, political happenings, music, and just about the topic you can imagine were plenty. Jim was an expert at showing me a different perspective on subjects. You will always be in my heart, and a large part of one of life's many challenges. So you would think his legacy with Brunswick News and the Bugle would end there. Far from it. When he was no longer with the Bugle, our great publisher and writer Teresa Blackburn, the owner of Ageless and the River Valley Sun, 2 media publications in Carleton County, you might as well say she took Jim into the merge, and they had worked together previously while he was still at the Bugle, and made the River Valley Sun and Ageless probably 2 of the most important independent voices for media in our region's history. Now, Teresa has always been a big supporter of Jim. She took a lot of the duties. I think she used the term work husband. Teresa loved Jim to death. And Teresa, I'd like to thank you for taking care of my cousin. I can say we're family. Teresa has done a good job to coordinate. I can't even say the word done. I can't believe it's gone. So, Teresa took on a lot of the duties. I thank you, Teresa. I like to say this in all seriousness, ladies and gentlemen. Every person that worked with Jim Dunville was emotionally, physically, spiritually touched by his way. And you know, it's you see the photograph that's on your screen right now. There's some old lines that I always try to remember. To celebrate the person, it could be something as similar as a memory or a thought or basically a moment that that person is successful at. And I'm going to read you. This is sort of my epitaph today, and I know we would enjoy it because we're around the same age in our 60s. And let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. I got to get a pause here because it's so bizarre, ladies and gentlemen, to lose him like that. See, let me get it here. So, Jim, my friend, my family member, love you, man. This is for you. And you know the song, You're Looking Down from Heaven. So, every time I see your face, it reminds me of the places we used to go. But all I've got is a photograph, and I realize you're not coming back anymore. So Jim's a very spiritual person, and we can tell you the body is just a shell. But all the people that work with him, the Bugle, and even his college colleagues, it's been rough. So Jim, you're not in pain anymore. That's the key part. We love you, and don't forget, look out for us on the other side.